Another amazing service
Amen.
synopsis.
Yes, and since it's Saturday, I got to give you my synopsis. Yes, and service today was no different. I tell you, Pastor Allen is on fire. He wants everyone in his congregation to make it to heaven. And so he is preaching truth, whether we like it or not. And today, no different. Wasn't disappointed at all. I'm always encouraged. I leave there wanting to be a better Christian. And so his sermon today was about false prophet, false apostles, and the false church. Yeah. And you know what? You guys can always go to WOC Church on YouTube and check it out as well. Yeah. I'm going to try and keep to what he says and stop putting in my 2 cents. So this video would not be that long. Yeah. And so, he started off by saying that Christ, God, is still in the church building business. Yeah. And throughout time, God has always established his church. Yeah. Even though the enemy tried to persecute, to kill, to snuff out, God has been able to maintain his church every era. And today is no different. Yes. Is the church facing a lot of stuff? Yeah. But God is still in control. Don't be fooled by the enemy making his loud noise and speaking on his loudspeaker. God is still in control. So Pastor Allen was talking about how, sometimes as Christians, we want to talk about, well, the church not doing this and the church not doing that. And sometimes we fail to realize that the church is not a building, but the people. A lot of people think when you hear the word church, you think of a building. No, church is the people. So if you find that the people in church not doing what they should, the first person he say you need to look at is yourself, because you're a part of the church. And you need to ask yourself, what am I doing to make God's work, go forth? What am I doing? He said, if we all reflect on that, then the church as a body will start doing God's work. Something to think about. He also talked about the fact that, everything that God made, he said it was good. And how the enemy tried to make everything that God made good, he makes a counterfeit. Yeah. So the fact that God made food for man and say it was good, the enemy on the other hand, trying to kill us with that same food. You get it? He actually said something that was very profound. So he said, God made everything that was good for us to eat, but the enemy perverts it and wants to kill us with a fork. Can you believe it? Yeah. He said he's the opposite of everything God is. And it says, what are we doing daily to show we are living for God besides praying? I thought that was a great question. He asked that question. What are we doing besides praying? Praying is good, don't get me wrong. But praying alone is not going to make us enter into the kingdom. What else are we doing? What am I doing? I have to ask myself that question. And I think you guys should ask yourself too. What am I doing to further the work for God? Good question, right? Yeah, so he said, prayer is good, but that alone won't save us. Our actions need to reflect the one we serve. Right? He also went on to say, because we can have a form of godliness, but deny the power of God. Ain't that some? And a lot, the wheats and the tear grow together. So some of us in the church are pretending to be Christians, but denying the power of God. And God never say go looking to see who's a wheat and who's a tear. Focus on yourself. Make sure you are not denying the power of God, and you're actually showcasing in your action who it is you serve. You know what I always say, right? You will know people by their fruits. Yeah, and he said that as well. You know, you will know someone by their fruits. A good tree cannot produce bad fruit, as a bad tree cannot produce good fruit. So, you know, when you're listening to people, you make sure you watch to see what they're saying. And let me tell you, the enemy always wants to force, demand, and insist that you follow him. Whereas God allows us free will. God don't force. He don't demand. He don't, stand there wanting to beat us over the head to do what he says. No. So you will know someone who is of God. God wants us to love him because we want to, not because we have to. Yeah. Anyway, that's what service was about today. Yeah, as Christians, we got to make sure what we say is what we showcase. Yes, and if we say we're Christians, then our lifestyle, the things we do should showcase that. At the end of the day, salvation is an individual thing. We cannot save anyone. The only person we can save is ourselves. So we got to decide for ourselves where we want to go, who we're serving, and let our actions showcase that. I want all of us to be saved. I want you to be saved. I want myself to be saved. I want my children and my family to be saved. But we all need to make the necessary changes in order to do so. I hope you guys have a blessed day. I hope that, the synopsis was an encouragement and a blessing. And until the next one, bye.